Hello, Professor. My name is Carlos Lopez, and I am in your History 18 class. We're going to talk about a few places and a few individuals. So we are going to talk about Koishige. Here she is, and here she is again. And then we are also going to talk about the little hummingbird, Whitslin. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but yeah, here he is. So before we talk about those, I would like to talk about the Temple Mayor. So according to Khan Academy, the Temple Mayor had two sections. One side was for different entities. So for one side, it would be for Tlaloc, the water rain god entity, and then the other side would be for Huitzilopochtli. What his side would was used for worship. Huitzilopochtli was the war god of Mexico, and he was also identified with the sun. So, according to Khan Academy, the Temple Mayor had 7 phases. So the first phase started in 1325. The second phase from there started from 1375 all the way to 1427. And then the third phase would be from 1427 all the way to 1440. And then the fourth phase would be from 1440 to 1481. And then the fifth phase would be 1481 all the way to 1486. Now, see, the interesting, tricky part about the sixth and seventh phase is like they're kind of together in a way, because you think about it, the sixth phase, which was technically the last phase, which would be in 1487. See, but from there, it would last until 1521 would be the last phase, the seventh phase. But as you can tell by that date alone, 1521, it was dismantled by the Spaniards. All right, so we are now going to talk about Koishike. Here she is. Here is Koishike again. So, Koishike is, according to Khan Academy, aka Bellatrix. She was a daughter of the Aztec goddess Coyolique. So, an interesting thing about this individual right here, Koishike, was, I mean, you can tell now because I colored it in, but when I printed this out, it was all white. Obviously, I had to color everything in. Couldn't really tell anything particular, anything, out of the ordinary. But as soon as you start coloring it in, you start coloring in her body, her headdress, and parts of her body, like her little, like, beads and stuff, they're all different colors. And then the background was red. And I'm all like, why is it red? But then I'm just like, that's when it clicked. You start paying attention, and right there you can see her head was cut off. Same thing. You see the little bone right there, it was cut off. And the same thing for the rest of her body. So, an interesting story about that was, well, let's start with her mom, Coyolique. This is how it all started. So Coyolique stayed in Snake Mountain. That's where she lived. And just out of the random, she was impregnated by a ball of feathers. And as soon as Coyolique found out, she did not like that. She found that like disrespectful and just did not like that. She told her other 400 brothers, and they all agreed. So they ended up storming Snake Mountain, and she has a brother named Huitzilopochtli, the war god. He did not like that, and he stood up for his mom, Coyolique, the Aztec goddess. And as you can tell by the outcome, Coyolique ended up losing. Huitzilopochtli ended up murdering his sister, and she fell off Snake Mountain. And as you can see, all her body was just cut into pieces, and the background was just her blood from her death. So Huitzilopochtli, like I stated before, was associated with the sun, and he was identified with the sun, and he was the war god of Mexico. So Huitzilopochtli had a hummingbird headdress. And an interesting part about that was his name in Nahuatl, an ancient, I believe it's an ancient Mexican language, Nahuatl. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. Huitzilopochtli, in that language, his name means left-handed, or southern hummingbird. And as you can tell, he was associated with the hummingbird because he had a hummingbird headdress. And the bird was considered the protector of the Mexican warrior. So I found that very interesting. But yeah, yeah. Hope my video was informative. I'm looking forward to your class. Thank you so much, Professor.